The world of organized crime is built on a foundation of absolute loyalty, ruthless violence, and billions of dollars in illegal enterprise. For decades, the leaders of these massive criminal syndicates seemed completely untouchable, ruling their empires with iron fists while evading the grasp of law enforcement. Today, we are looking at 5 of the most notorious mob bosses and cartel kingpins in history, and the dramatic, high-stakes takedowns that finally brought their reigns of terror to an end. Number 5, the Teflon Don, John Gotti. In the 1980s, John Gotti became the boss of the powerful Gambino crime family in New York City after orchestrating the brazen, public assassination of his predecessor, Paul Castellano. Unlike traditional mob bosses who operated in the shadows, Gotti loved the spotlight. He strutted in expensive tailored suits and regularly taunted the media and the FBI, earning the nickname the Teflon Don after securing acquittals in 3 high-profile trials. But his luck ran out in 1990. The FBI had managed to plant secret recording devices inside an apartment above the Rave Night Social Club, Gotti's heavily guarded headquarters. The wiretaps captured Gotti discussing massive illegal operations and explicitly admitting to ordering murders. Most importantly, he was heard severely criticizing his loyal underboss, Sammy the Bull Gravano. When Gravano heard the tapes, he broke the sacred mafia oath of omerta and agreed to testify against his boss. Gotti was convicted in 1992 and sentenced to life in prison, marking the definitive decline of the modern American mafia. Number 4, the untouchable Whitey Bulger. For over 2 decades, James Whitey Bulger ruled the Boston underworld as the ruthless leader of the Winter Hill Gang, deeply involved in extortion, drug trafficking, and murder. What made Bulger seem truly invincible was his dark secret: he was simultaneously working as a highly protected informant for the FBI, providing information on the rival Italian mafia while the FBI actively shielded him from prosecution. When honest investigators finally began closing in on him in 1994, his corrupt FBI handler tipped him off, allowing Bulger to flee. He remained a fugitive for 16 long years, eventually landing on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. The massive manhunt finally ended in 2011, when a brilliant public awareness campaign focused on his longtime girlfriend, Catherine Gregg. The campaign paid off when a former neighbor recognized her in Santa Monica, California. The FBI swooped in and arrested the 81-year-old mobster without incident, bringing an end to one of the most shameful and complex chapters in the history of American law enforcement. Number 3, the legendary Al Capone. During the Prohibition era of the 1920s, Al Capone built a massive, violently enforced criminal empire in Chicago, generating millions of dollars from illegal bootlegging, gambling, and prostitution. He was the most famous gangster in the world, brutally eliminating his rivals, most notoriously in the Valentine's Day Massacre of 1929. Despite knowing exactly who he was and what he did, local police and federal agents could never tie him directly to the murders or the bootlegging. Frustrated by his seemingly impenetrable armor, the federal government assigned a team from the Treasury Department to investigate his finances. By meticulously tracing his lavish lifestyle and securing the testimony of a key associate, they proved that Capone had massive amounts of undeclared income. In 1931, the man who was arguably the most violent and powerful gangster in America was finally brought down, not for murder or racketeering, but for federal tax evasion, leading to an 11-year sentence in the notorious Alcatraz prison. Number 2, the dramatic capture of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. As the head of the brutal Sinaloa cartel, El Chapo was the most powerful drug trafficker in the world, responsible for smuggling massive quantities of narcotics into the United States. He was notoriously difficult to catch, employing a vast network of heavily armed enforcers and highly sophisticated escape tunnels. He even famously escaped from Mexican maximum security prisons twice, once hidden in a laundry cart, and later through a mile-long tunnel dug directly beneath his shower. After his second brazen escape in 2015, the manhunt intensified. In a bizarre twist of fate, El Chapo's own hubris led to his downfall. He secretly reached out to Hollywood actors to produce a biographical film about his life. Intelligence agencies intercepted these communications, tracking him to a safe house in the coastal city of Los Mochis. In January 2016, Mexican Marines launched a massive, deadly raid on the compound. El Chapo attempted to flee through the city's sewer system, but was finally captured after a high-speed pursuit, leading to his permanent extradition to the United States. Number 1. The violent end of Pablo Escobar. In the 1980s, Pablo Escobar was the leader of the infamous Medellin cartel, controlling 80% of the global cocaine market and accumulating a personal net worth of over $30 billion. He waged an absolute war on the state of Colombia, assassinating politicians, judges, police officers, and even blowing up a commercial airliner to eliminate his rivals. After surrendering to the government on his own terms and living in a luxurious, custom-built prison called La Catedral, Escobar simply walked out when authorities tried to move him to a standard facility. This sparked a massive, 16-month manhunt involving the Colombian military, the USDA, the CIA, and a ruthless vigilante group known as Los Peeps. The walls rapidly closed in on his